Hey, I'm Milan, and welcome to Volume 2 of the Course Podcast.
And it's Pierre Jerome. Pierre Jerome has plenty of space. Just heard that. Pierre Jerome, her second
of the day. Welcome back to the Course Podcast. I'm your host, Milan Pierre Jerome, and I'm here with Nick Cross. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. And today, we're in person. This is our first episode, so I just wanted to just talk to you, conversation, just chill, see how you've been doing, see how life is, and yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, life's been good. I mean, just finished the season. Just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Played football, met some nice people, met some good people.
Mm-hmm.
Played well towards the end of the season. Just grew as a person, as a
Mm-hmm.
player, and I feel like it was a good year overall.
That's good. So I want to go to your childhood, like early childhood. So I know you're from Maryland, right?
Yeah.
And you are Jamaican and Trinidadian.
Yeah.
So who's Jamaican, who's Trinidadian?
My dad's from Jamaica, my mom's from Trinidad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you feel like in touch with your Caribbean side?
I feel in touch to an extent. I mean, I feel like my parents, every Saturday, all the Saturdays in the household was like, parents would make Caribbean food, listen to the Caribbean radio station, always cleaning and stuff like that. So I feel like Saturdays, and then I feel like just
you can hold it if you want.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I feel like it was just fun. Like, my parents had their friends over and everything, and we just have a great time. They'd speak in their dialects and all that stuff. And
Can you speak patois? And
I just say yaman. That's it. That's it. So that's it. But we always make fun of them and all that. So it's definitely good. So I stay in touch. Haven't been back to any of them, any of the islands since probably high school. But other than that, try to keep it pretty.
And were your parents born in Jamaica and Trinidad, or their parents were born in Jamaica?
No, they were born there.
Oh.
Yeah, they were born there.
Okay, so
I guess what? Me and my parents, me and my siblings are first generation Americans.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So how many siblings do you have?
I have two. I have a younger brother. He's a junior in high school.
Okay.
My sister, she's a freshman in Maryland.
That's right.
Yeah.
And she likes Maryland?
Yeah, she does.
Does she have like people like going up to her like, you're Nick Cross's sister?
I don't know. I knew she had it in high school. Like she would always be like, people come up to me and whatever. So that was really, that was it.
Mm-hmm. And did you always want to play football?
Always wanted to play football. Yeah. Caribbean parents are not really, but always wanted to play. And then they let me play in high school and shit. It was cool.
And then you also played basketball. And you
played
ran
basketball.
track?
Yeah, ran track when I was in high school. Ran track my freshman year at Maryland. So try to do.
Oh, you ran track at Maryland too?
For 1 year.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
It was okay. I mean, the team was kind of.
What?
It wasn't as fun as it was in high school. I feel like that team camaraderie wasn't as good as it was in high school. But I mean, I was there with me, Caleb, Drake, Max, Joe. So, I mean, we were all cool. So it was good to be able to hang out with them.
Wait, so y'all went to DeMatha with each other?
I went with Caleb. It was me and Caleb.
Okay.
Drake went to McNamara.
Okay.
And then Max and Joe went to public school wherever they were at.
So you met everyone at Maryland.
Yeah.
But you and Caleb came.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then basketball, you didn't want to pursue basketball?
I started playing basketball when I was young, and then I always liked to play football. I always wanted to play football. I just never, basketball was cool, but it wasn't really, one, I stopped growing, so it was kind of just like, two, it was just, all the long hours in the gym, it wasn't as physical as I liked it to be, always getting called for fouls and stuff like that, and I feel like basketball players some of them are a little soft, so it's just like,
what is that?
It's just like, you hit somebody a little bit, the ref gonna call a foul.
Well, I mean, you're playing football and you just bulldozing over people,
exactly. So it's like, it's just like, everything was a foul. You sneeze, they call a foul. They, whatever. So it's just like, I'd rather not.
And so, what position did you play in basketball?
I played anything. When I was younger, I played when I was young, I was always taller than everybody, so I played center.
Okay.
Like when I got older, and of course, like people caught up to me, I started playing like the guard positions and stuff like that. So it was pretty smooth.
Okay. And so you went to DeMatha, and that was like 15 away from the University of Maryland.
Yeah.
And just as far as that, like, did you know you wanted to go to school so close with high school?
I really, and my parents, they don't really know this, but I really chose to go to DeMatha because I knew that their football team was good. So I was like, shoot, if I start playing football there, I can really get to where I want to get to. So I went there. I actually, the first day I got there, I was like, man, I was looking around. I was like, the all-boys school. I was like, honestly, I don't know if this is for me. I really was like.
Because it was all boys school?
Not even that. I just didn't feel, I was just like, I think I want to go somewhere else. But I was like, there was nowhere else I really wanted to, like, I didn't know where else I wanted to go. So it's like, you know what? Let me just stick this out. And, you know, every day it got better and better. And, you know, met a lot of cool people, met a lot of close friends and all that. So
was your middle school or like your hometown schools, were they near DeMatha? Like, did you just have to like start fresh?
So St. Jerome was right down the street from DeMatha.
Oh, okay.
So it was cool. Went there for 8th grade. The other school I went to, it closed down. But it was all right down the street. So St. Jerome was cool, right down the street from DeMatha. So, you know, my siblings went to St. Jerome. And so everybody was all in the same. My mom worked at PG Hospital, so she just dropped us off real quick, drive down the road. So it was nice, pretty convenient. That's
good. And so I know there was like a year where y'all were supposed to play St. Thomas. Did you play St. Thomas in high school? Yeah. How did that go?
Oh, we're not going to talk about that one.
Why can't we talk about that?
Because we got to run that one back. We got to run it back.
But I just want to hear what happened. We got to
run that one back.
Okay.
We lost.
Was it bad? Was it a bad loss?
We lost. Just know they scored more points than we did.
Okay.
But I still played very well. I think I had like 9 tackles or something like that.
What year was this when you played? This was
my senior year.
Okay.
So, of course, like, you know, I was All-American at the time, you know, everything like that. Side note, I did get knocked out on the first play of the game. I ran down there on kickoff. I don't know who blocked me, but he got me right under my chin, and I just went to sleep for like half a second. I woke back up. I was like, man, I finished the game, still played well, but I was like, whew, that was crazy. So, but yeah, we did lose. Shout out my boy Jaden Davis, Jordan Battle. Who else do I know down there?
So you knew them before you played that game?
Yeah, so we went to the opening together.
Oh, okay. What was the opening?
It was like it's this football camp, this Nike football camp, where it's like the top 160 players in the country. So I met them there. Who else was there?
So was it like a multiple day type thing?
It was like 4 or 5 days. We went 7-on-7, a bunch of competitions, 1-on-ones. Okay. Got a whole bunch of Nike gear.
Okay.
So that's where I met them at, and you know, we just, you know, we talked back
how'd
and forth.
How'd you meet them? You just,
I mean, me and Jordan was two of the top, safeties in our class. So, you know, people talk about where they're going to school. Oh, you go to school. Come on, let's go to school here. So it was just, you know, brotherly love.
So I know you committed to FSU first.
Yeah.
So why'd you commit there?
I was in love with Florida State. Florida State was it.
Why? Why was it?
My coach at the time, he asked me because, so my dad wasn't into visiting all these. He didn't want to visit all these schools. Like I wanted to visit every school in the country because I wanted to go try on a jersey, get the gear, all that stuff. He was like, look, we're going to use your official visits. And he's a big academic guy. So he wasn't into the Alabamas, the LSUs and everything like that. He was like, we're going to use your official visits. He was like, I'm not sure I wanted to let you go to Alabama. He was like, because this is a football factory or whatever. And then, so I came to my coach. My coach knew the situation. He was just like, what's one school you would go to that you didn't have to visit? I was thinking. I was like, Florida State. I was like, I'll go to Florida State. I was like, it's in Florida. It's a
So you didn't go on a visit?
I did end up going on a visit.
Oh, okay.
I did end up going on a visit, but I was like, if I was to go, if there was one school I could go to without visiting, it'd be Florida State.
Okay.
So I was like, I watched videos on Florida State, like whatever. And I was like, so brought me in the office later that day. He was like, typing this number on your phone. It's 850, you know, whatever. Like, congratulations, you got the offer. And I was like, man, like,
That's
so
crazy.
from that day on, I was like, man, I'm going to Florida State. I'm going to Florida. I had a dream I committed to Florida State, like all of that stuff. So it's just like, you know, it's like, man, like, so yeah, I mean, I went, visited, you know, I wanted to commit on my visit. My dad was like, just hold on, just wait, you know. And then, you know, he wanted me to go and visit other schools. Like, he wanted me to go to Stanford, but Stanford was too far. I didn't want to go all the way to California.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I kind of did, like, I just wanted to my senior year, I just wanted to, you know, just make sure I got through and everything like that.
Right.
So he also liked Penn State. Penn State was cool, it was just too cold. I didn't want to go to Penn State. So I kind of stopped talking to them during the recruiting process. They ended up getting upset. They ended up calling my dad. And, like, when the official offers came out, I didn't get one from Penn State. Like, how come you didn't get one from Penn State? And, of course, I was young, so I was like, I don't know why I didn't get one from Penn State. But it was because I had stopped talking to them 2 weeks before. So they called, like, yeah, he stopped responding to us. He stopped, you know, whatever. Like, so my dad got mad. He's like, why are you, like, ignoring these people? Long story short, finally let me commit to Florida State. It wasn't that, like, long-lived, but at the same time, it was smooth. So
why wasn't it long-lived? You didn't.
So end up night before, like, Florida State had a bad year. Just bad. It was just bad. And
what year was this?
This was 2018. This was 2018 going into 2019. So it was my senior year of high school. Getting blown out here, blown out there. And it's like, you know, we're supposed to be the class that comes and changes it, yada, yada, yada. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, man. So, of course, schools would hit me up. And, you know, I start entertaining a little bit here and there. And rumors come out, coaches might get fired, this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, man, like, it's crazy. So take a couple of visits. I think go to Georgia, go to Penn State, whatever. Night before signing day. Take all the visits. You know, Locke's got a job at Maryland. My high school coach was now a coach at Maryland. And I was like, I low-key was running from him because he always called me, text me, yo, come to Maryland, you know, whatever. I just started ignoring him. I was like, man, I don't want to hear that, none of that stuff.
Why didn't you want to go?
I didn't want to stay close to home. I feel like I had worked hard to get away from home. So it's like,
that
I
makes
wanted
sense.
to go play at one of the big schools. Night before signing, Dad gave this illustrious speech to my dad. You know, like, I'm going to Florida State, change the program, you know, be a great leader. Because, I mean, all the fans knew how I was. They loved me. I was a big recruit. I helped recruit try to help recruit a lot of guys. He was like, nah, man. Like, I'm not letting you go there. Like, I can't let you, like, they're terrible right now. Man. He was like, I'm not signing your papers. So I was 17 at the time. So
he had to.
He had to sign my papers.
Yeah.
And my mom wasn't going to sign them because I'm not going to create no beef in the house.
Yeah.
Bro, when I tell you I cried, bro.
The night before signing day.
Night before, he's like, you got until 12 o'clock tomorrow to make your decision.
That's crazy.
So it was Georgia, Penn State, Maryland. I cried. I called one of my high school coaches. I cried.
That's crazy.
We sat on the phone for like 30 minutes in silence. I was just like, there's no way this man just told me I couldn't go to Florida State. Like,
that's wild.
All this time?
Yeah, that's wild.
I had all the gear. I was going to track meets.
Probably posting.
I was posting, going to Florida State, whatever. All the guys. And I was like, man, can't go to Florida State. Had to call the coach the next morning. I was like, yeah, I can't come. Like, whatever. It was a whole thing. Social media was bashing my dad, talking about why don't you let you? Because everybody figured out what the story was.
How did they figure that out?
Bruh, media got a weird way of getting around.
That's wild.
I'm talking about the players was hitting my dad up. Come on, bro, let him come. Like,
really?
It was crazy. Like, it was just so crazy. And then, so yeah, it was just like, you know.
So what made you? So you didn't want to go to Georgia?
I didn't want to go to Georgia. They had stopped recruiting me a little bit, and they had a coaching change, you know, for my position group. Okay. Penn State, I knew I'd already rubbed them the wrong way, so I didn't want to go up there and, you know, whatever. And I was like, I was like, man, I don't want to go to Maryland. But I was like, look, at the end of the day, this is about me getting to the NFL. Yeah. So I was like,
yeah, that's true.
Let me just do it. So
that's true.
I send in my papers. And I tell them, I said, don't post anything. Because I was embarrassed. Like, I was really like, bruh, like.
Because everyone thought you were going to FSU.
Everybody thought I was going to Florida State. Like.
And how was Maryland doing at the time?
Buns.
Really?
Like, it was like, I didn't know, like, I barely knew the only person I knew there was Locks. I knew my high school coach, but I didn't really know anybody else on the staff.
So when you were when you were deciding, did you know you wanted to do track too? Like, was that like
so that was another thing.
Oh,
like, I wanted to make sure that I went to a good football school, a good track school.
Okay.
So I can do both.
So you were gonna run track at FSU too?
I had started talking to the track coaches, Bro, I was locked in down there. Like,
that's crazy.
I was figuring out what apartment I wanted to get. I was gonna get them. Like, I was gonna figure out what moped I wanted. Like,
that's wild.
Everything. So I was like, man,
wow,
like,
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
So that's it's wild. Like, bruh, like, I can't, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just like, they're like, don't post it. So I'm in at lunch in high school. Everybody like, Nick, you about to go to Maryland? Because I guess they had posted it. So I'm trending on Twitter now because it's like, and at first I'm like, nah, I'm not going to Maryland, bro. I'm not going there. Everybody like, yo, you going to Maryland, whatever. I was just like, bro, like, this is so, like, I was so out of it. I was just like, bro, like, I don't want to do this, bro.
So then when signing day, so that's signing day when this is happening?
This was a week after signing day.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't sign on signing day.
Oh, so you didn't sign on signing day.
I couldn't sign on, so I was distraught.
Dang.
I couldn't. I didn't know where I wanted to go.
That's wild.
I was about to hit up other schools and be like, yo, like, you know, whatever. But I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. Dang. So it was just like, bruh, like, tough. You know, I had to wait, had to figure it out. And I was like, look, my mom was like, I think you do great things at Maryland. Yeah. She's like, it'll be fine. It'll be okay, whatever. I told Lot, I said, look, I'm trying to leave in 3 years. I don't want to spend too much time. So let me do this and get out.
And then, so that's when you went.
That's when I went.
And how was that? How was Maryland? How was your freshman year?
Oh, it was rough.
Why was it rough?
So my coach, John Hoke, love that man. I just sent him a jersey from the Colts. He coaches for the Bears. He was just a jerk.
Why?
He's just old school, always yelling. I think about my third practice.
Was it just with you or was it with everyone?
I was a freshman. I was the big shot freshman who was coming in. So it's like he's tasked with making sure that I'm doing right. And it's like he's like cussing me out every day. I'm sad. I'm just like, bro, I don't even want to be here, bro. Like, I shouldn't even be here right now. Like, I really wanted to transfer out before the season even started because I was like, bro, like, this man is yelling at me every day. I've never had a coach who sit there. Because, of course, in the recruitment process, you know, he cool. What's up? How you doing?
Right.
We get that first training camp practice.
It's different.
What are you doing? Like, I'm like, oh, my gosh, bro. And on top of that, like, first 4 or 5 games, I wasn't really playing. So I'm just like, you know, he obviously didn't trust me out there. I was just like, bro, like, this ain't no fun. Like, you know, I was having fun outside, but I was like, bro, like, you know, this ain't no fun, yada, yada, yada. It's just like, bro, like.
But since you did go close to home, was it like good as far as like friends and like people? Did a lot of people go from your high school to Maryland?
There were a good amount. I mean, I didn't really see them often, but you know, and I was with Caleb. You know, I met Joe, Max, Drake, all of them. You know, DeMatha had a couple guys who went to Maryland a couple years before me. So, and I knew a lot of guys on the team anyway because I used to spend a lot of time up there.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like when I was in high school, that was the thing. All the DeMatha kids always used to go up there. You know, hang out with the coaches, hang out with the players and stuff. So it was just like, bro, like.
So then, how was doing track and football? Because I don't know many people that do both.
Bro, it was hard because Locks wanted me to do both. Like, he wanted me to come work out with track.
Because do they intertwine?
Not really. Okay. They only intertwine once to start spring ball. But, like, you know, football got winter workouts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, he wanted me to do winter workouts, come run track. And at the end of the day, I was way bigger than I was in high school. So, like, I didn't have the time to train, get my weight down, all that stuff to go run. So, it's just like, man, like, you know, whatever. And it's just like, bruh, like, you know, that's crazy. He's like, man, you're not running like you used to. I said, yeah, I haven't had a chance to train like I used to. Like, I'm sitting there lifting.
It's straight football,
Straight football and have to go out there and run track. And, of course, I'm the biggest one out there. So
Right.
it's like, bro, like, you know, so COVID ended up happening. It was canceled the rest of the season and stuff like that. But it was a lot for sure. For sure.
And then why do you want to, is that the reason why you wanted to stop track?
No, I actually want to do it my next year, but I ended up hurting my foot before I was able to start running. So like sophomore year was COVID year, and then I started trying to run, hurt my foot. I didn't get healthy until spring ball. Locks was mad about that because he was like, this is the second winter workouts you've missed, like whatever. All the coaches was on me. When are you coming back? When are you coming back? You know, you want to leave in 3 years, but, you know, you're not, whatever, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of passive aggressive stuff, and it was just like, man, I don't want to. I don't have time for this. Like, I'll be ready. Trainers were trying to press me, like, hey, can you run today? I'm like, no.
Same thing.
Yeah, so it's like my physical therapist, like they hated my physical therapist because like that's the only person I would listen to.
Yeah.
I would just listen to him, and I'd be like, bro, he'd be like, look, relax. 6 weeks, you'll be good.
Yeah.
And it was right before spring break, and Locks will always sit there. He always sub me. I hate when people sub me. Like, I hate when people sub me. So he
sub you how?
Like, bro, if you got a problem, just say it. Like, don't sit there and get up in front of the team and we got some of our star players over there riding a bike and the rest of the team out here putting in work. Don't be the first one to run out there when the ball's rolled out there for spring ball. I'm like, and I was the best player over there on the bike. So everybody knew who he was talking about. Yeah. So it's like
adding you.
It's like, bro, like he's just adding me. Like, so it's like, bro, like, and he would say it multiple times, like, y'all leaders better get y'all players who on the bike. Like, they should be out here working out with y'all. And it's like, he would get certain people to come talk to me in the locker room. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to hear all of that. Like, let me get healthy. I'm going to come out there and do what I need to do. And it was just like, bro, like, that was a hectic time. Spring ball wasn't any better. Like, I was garbage during spring ball. I was so garbage.
Well, because you had all that going on.
I am so garbage during spring ball. He came to me, he's like, I'm just disappointed in you, man. Like, and the thing is, I knew I was garbage in spring ball, so I just wanted to get through spring ball and then go and get ready for the season. Yeah. Like, all right, my foot will be healthy all the way. I'll be able to have time to train. I'll be able to get myself really right. Finally get through spring ball. I'm like, whew. Like, he's tripping about spring ball. I'm not even tripping. Like, shit, like, I'm going to be good. Like, don't worry about it. He's like, yeah, like, we rated you the 15th best player on the team. Like, that's not even, like, such and such is better than you. And I'm like, and you know he's not. You know
Nick, that's crazy.
Like, you know that.
That's
wild.
You
know he's not. So it's like, you know, after that, once we got into the season, of course, like, you know, going to the season, I'm playing good. Then I started thinking about leaving, and I was like, I started thinking about the NFL, had a couple bad games, and then, you know.
So when was like your, like, would you say your breakout moment, breakout game?
Were you still at Maryland when we played West Virginia?
Was I still at Maryland when I played West Virginia? I don't think so. Because this is when you were junior.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, I was.
Yeah.
I was there.
I think my COVID game against Penn State was really good.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
And then West Virginia was like.
Because the Penn State one was away, right?
Yeah, that was
I remember
when we
that.
came back to that party and everybody got COVID.
I remember that. I remember that.
So, yeah, that West Virginia game went crazy. And that was just, you know.
That's when you felt like that was like your breakout.
Like, I was like, all right, like, this is it. Like, this is what it's going to feel like. This is what it's going to look like. So, it's just like, you know. Went out there, played. I was just having fun. Like, I was having fun. I was playing, you know,
doing
just
your
enjoying
thing.
myself. Yeah.
And so, I was your junior year, and then you wanted to forego your senior year.
Yeah, I was kind of on the fence about it because I wanted to leave.
Why?
I was tired of school. All of my favorite players had left in 3 years. Like, all of my favorite players. So
at Maryland?
No, all my favorite players in general.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know. So I was like, don't want to stay for.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I stay for, like, it was a pride thing. It was definitely like, bro, like, I don't want to stay for, like, you know.
It's just a thing everybody's doing type thing.
Yeah, I don't want to do what everybody else does. Yeah. Like, I always like being the young one to be able to go out there and, you know, I was 20 years old at the time. I was like, everybody's like, you should leave. Some people were like, you should stay. Like, I was really asking, like, I wanted my blessing from my mom and dad. They were like, you should leave. And then like, you know what? You might be able to do another year. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and then finally, like, you know what? I think you should leave. Like, I think you should just go do your thing. And I was like, all right, cool. They was like, just promise me you're going to finish your schooling. I haven't done that yet. But they was like, you know, go ahead and go for it. And I was scared. I was scared out of my mind. Because I'm like, bro, I'm 20 years old.
Yeah. That's true.
Like, I remember when I got to the airport to go down to Fort Lauderdale to go train, my agent gave me this thick book with all the coaches, all the coaches in the NFL, all that stuff. And I'm just like, man, like,
it's real.
It's real, bro. It's real.
It's
and I'm
real.
like, dog, like, this is crazy. Because it's like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing it.
It's something to say it, but when you're doing it, it's wild.
Yeah, so it's like, when I declared for the job, I'm like, damn, like, you really leaving? I'm like, yeah, like, I'm really leaving.
Was it hard? Like, when you were leaving, was it like something that you were emotional about? Or were you just I'm ready to?
I was like, I'm gone. Like, I'm just, you know, told Coach Locks, you know, he called me on a Zoom meeting because we doing exit meetings. He's like, you leaving? You staying? So I said, I'm gone.
And how was he? What was his response?
He's like, all right, well, you know, he was like, you know, do what you need to do, get your draft grade up. Continue to get your draft grade up, and, you know, all the best of luck. And I was like, appreciate it. And, you know, that was that.
And so that's when you signed with your agency.
Yeah, I signed with my agency. Shout out Dan, shout out Samantha. I was just with them earlier today. And
what made you choose them?
The thing is, I didn't want to go with them at first because I felt like Dan was kind of boring. Like, he was kind of just, you know, very monotone, very just. I almost fell asleep listening to him when I first started talking. But then as the process went on, he was real consistent. He was really, you know, he really seemed like he cared. Like, he really seemed like he cared about me as a person.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like, you know, I could really do this, you know. At the end of the day, when you're in the league, it's you and your agent.
Right.
You know, y'all trying to stay in the league together.
Right.
So it was just like, you know, he was real consistent. He was real good. And at the end of the day, like, I was like, damn, like, I really think I need somebody like this to be able to do what I need to do.
Right.
You know, I had sports stars, athletes first, all of those other ones, but I was like, you know, I'm going to just go with this one.
I felt right.
So, chose him. You know, he was happy. He was excited. You know, he came down and visited me during the combine prep, you know.
So, wait, you did prep in Florida?
Yeah.
And how was that?
That was fun. That was probably the best time of my life, you know.
Why was that the best time of your life?
You're in Florida for 2 months. You just live, you train for the morning. The afternoon is free. I got to go to Miami, got to go to the Heat games, you know, met a lot of people down there. You know, the guys are fun to be around. It was overall a fun time.
That's
like,
good.
You know,
and it was like a good, like you're still working, but like rest.
Yeah, because it's like, it's about 60 degrees, 70 degrees.
And you're just doing football. There's no school.
No school,
yeah,
none of that stuff. So it's like,
that.
it's real chill. It's just, you know, it's just starting into adulthood. So it's just like, I had so much fun, you know, whether it's riding jet skis, you know.
And there's a lot of Caribbean people.
A lot of Caribbean people, a lot of good food down there. Yeah. So it's just, you know, it was the life.
So it's basically better than Maryland, Florida.
Oh, yeah. Florida's better than Maryland for sure. Okay. For sure.
I agree. But continue.
So, yeah, I mean, that was it. It was just, you know, started there.
Yeah.
Went to the combine, you know. That was a fun experience, you know, long and tiring, but at the end of the day, it was cool. And then, you know, it was just good. Like,
were you nervous going into the combine?
Oh, the night before I had to go run, my heart was beating out of my chest.
Really?
Like, I remember we ran on Sunday. My mom was in church. I called her like 5 times. She wouldn't answer. I'm like, bro, get out of church. And
get out of church is crazy.
I was like, bro, I literally needed to. She's like, are you okay? I said, no, I'm not. I'm literally laying on the bed and I can see my chest. Doom, doom, doom. I'm like, bruh, this is crazy. Because I'm like, bro, like, I'm right here. Like, I'm literally here. So it's like.
But then you did it and didn't you get the fastest time out of safeties?
Yeah, I ran the fastest time of safeties, you know, 4.34, something chill. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was cool though. It was straight. It was cool.
And after that, what was that? Like the process of that? Like teams calling you?
You know, having to sit down and, you know, go visit with teams, go to different, I had to go to San Fran, Buffalo, Baltimore.
Oh, so you just travel like to all the different places?
I traveled to a couple teams and, you know, did a lot of Zoom calls. Okay. You know, they would call, you know, get a random call. Hey, how you doing? Oh, this is such and such from this team, you know. how you doing? You know, yada, yada. Went down to see the Dolphins. So it was just fun to be able to meet those people, establish those relationships. And then you saw some of the guys that you know, might have trained with.
Right.
Or you might have seen some of your friends from, you know, other other colleges and stuff like that.
Or
so
even
it was
high
good.
school, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then draft day. Take me through draft day. Like, what was going through your head?
So my agent had told me anywhere from the first 3 rounds. So that's 105 picks. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro.
It's a long time to sit.
So the first night, you know, it was me, Terp, boy Jacorian, Brian Cobbs, and one of my high school coaches, Josh Wilson. And we was there. He was like, here are a couple teams that might get you. So it's like, you know, when you get around them teams, like you start getting a little, you know, whatever. Don't go in the first, right? So it's like, okay, day 2, got to go in the top 50. Day 2 comes, I'm late.
Yeah.
Like, the draft started at 7:30. I get there at 7:45. So I'm like, I'm speeding. I'm driving. Like, I'm driving down the road. Cause I'm having it I had a lot of people over this time. So it's like, all right, bet. First 50 go. The second round, I remember Jets didn't get me. Packers were supposed, you know, all these teams were supposed to.
That they're telling
and I would
you.
text my agent because my agent got the picks before I did. So he's like, nah. He's like, wait, nah. So, like, people come in and
You're
stuff
like
like
anxious.
that. I'm real anxious. Like, I'm real anxious.
Yeah, to know
and
you're
it's
going
like, you know,
top 3 rounds.
someone will call me and I'm like, bro, stop calling. Don't call me. Like, don't call me.
I
So it's
can
like,
see that.
bro, don't call me.
Yeah.
So finally we get to like 70s, 80s, and it's like, bro, this is really blowing me.
Yeah.
Now. Like, people coming up and trying to ask me questions. I'm like, bro, I don't want to talk right now. Like, let me just get through this.
Yeah.
So I knew Indy had wanted to get me, but they had told me they were going to get me at 50, at 40 something.
Yeah.
We're at 70 something.
Yeah.
They've had 3 picks, still haven't gotten me.
Right.
So at this point, I'm mad at the scout. I'm like, man, y'all is tripping.
Yeah.
Finally, it's like end of the night. And I was like, if I don't get picked before the night is over, I'm not even watching the draft tomorrow. Like, they can call me. I'm sitting there, I'm standing up. I never forget, I'm standing up. Get a phone call, 317. I don't know who it is. So I like, hello, is this Nick? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this is such and such from the Indianapolis Colts. Like, how you doing? I said, I'm good. So, like, it was so quiet because nobody really paying attention to me. Everybody was watching the TV.
Yeah.
So, like, I was standing next to Coach Josh, and he got drafted in the second round, so he knows what it's like. So he's sitting here like, bro, this is it. Like, this is it. Everybody started looking at me. I'm on the phone, talk to Coach Wright, talk to Mr. Ursay, Mr. Ballard. And I'm like, you know, get on the phone. I'm like, I'm going to Indianapolis. So it's like, I was like, man, like, I was like, this is, I was trying to shed a tear. I couldn't shed a tear. I was like, this is crazy. I'm like, bro, like, this is insane. So they put my name on the screen, whatever. And I'm like, man, like, I'm really going to go to the NFL. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is, everything was just like, it's surreal. Cause I was like, man. So, like, Terp was there. Everybody was there. We all took pictures and all that. And, yeah, like, the next couple of days, I was just, you know, just living life.
And like, so then when did everything start after that? So
it was 2 weeks later, went to rookie mini camp. And, of course, the same feeling I had at DeMatha, I was like, I don't know if I was like, but I was like, I can't transfer because there's no transfer. Like,
you're
at this point, you're at the pinnacle of
you're in.
You're at the pinnacle. So it's like, once you're at the pinnacle, there's no higher level.
Right.
Like, you know, your whole life you sit there and you want to get to a higher level, higher level. But it's like you're at the top.
Yeah.
So now it's like
there's
you
nowhere
get to
else.
the top of the top.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting, I'm like, well, I said, just, you know, take this day by day. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, my coaches were good, you know, and everything. And rookie mini camp was like, yeah, like, this is really the NFL. Like, I looked at my helmet, I was like, I'm in the NFL. Like, this is crazy. Like, and it's just like, you know, rookie mini camp, OTAs, you know, meeting all the guys. Like, Matt Ryan was our quarterback. Matt Ryan's 17. He could be my dad. Like, I'm 20 years old. He could be my dad. Like,
were you like nervous, like walking to the locker room and like talking?
I wasn't really nervous because, I mean, but the thing is, and this is another thing, like Rodney McLeod, he was one of our safeties. Yeah. I was a camper at his camp.
That's crazy.
Like 9 years ago.
That's wild.
So it's like, bro, like, these are really grown men. Like, you know, it's not little
and you're
boys.
There.
Like, and I'm there. Like, I'm just sitting there, you know, I go home, play the game. When I go home, they got wives and kids and mortgages to go pay. I just go pay my rent. Like, I just go pay my rent in my apartment and just, you know,
chilling.
So it was so crazy. Like I remember preseason, see Tom Brady. I'm like, yo,
Yeah, that's wild.
you've been playing in the league since before I was born. Like
That's wild right
like
there.
you was, before
That's
I was
wild.
born.
Yeah,
he was just
that's
like,
wild.
he's like, man, I appreciate it, man. He's like, you know, you aged me real good. I said, my fault, but I said, bro, like, you know.
Nah, that is wild
So
though. That's
that
wild.
was it. But
That's good. And
Yeah.
so, how would you say your rookie season was?
oh, it's terrible.
Why was it terrible?
It didn't start to hit me. Like I had so many expectations for myself that it was almost like I was paralyzing myself. Like I was playing slow, didn't really know what I was doing. It was a lot. Like they moved me from what I use. I usually play free safety. I usually play 20 yards deep. I see everything, and they put me into the box, like down by close to the line of scrimmage, and it's like everything's happening faster. My eyes weren't very good, so I'm sitting there reacting late. You know, everything. Don't really know the playbook like that.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's like, man, like this is rough.
So were you like discouraged after your first season?
I was sad. I was
Really?
depressed. I was like, I called my agent. I'm like, man, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to go home. Like I wanted
Yeah.
to just go, like, give me like a couple months. Let me go home and
Yeah.
reset myself. Let's start this over.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. So I was just depressed. Like every day I walked in there, and on top of that, we were losing. Like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
amount of stuff that happened in the first 2 years of me in the NFL, like, is crazy. So it's like, bro, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like, I was like, bro, like, I gotta get through the year. Like,
Yeah.
gotta
Get
get through
over
it.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
it was rough. Like, I was just meeting started at 8:30. I get there like 8:26. Done at 4:30. I'm out at 4:31. I'm
So,
back. I'm going home back. I call Terp every day. Called Terp. I was like, bruh. He was like, bruh, just.
But that's good that you had, people to talk to,
Yeah.
just like outside of Indy. You know what I'm
Oh, yeah.
saying?
Because, I mean, I was in Indy by myself.
Right,
so
right.
it's like.
And that was probably hard too,
that
like
was hard 'cause
going
it's
through all
ain't
that.
Nobody here, like,
Right.
I got to punch in the GPS when
Right.
I'm going everywhere.
Right.
I was just like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Indianapolis, like, any chance I got to go home, I was going
Right,
home.
right.
Like, we played on Thursday night. We get back 4 a.m. I'm on that
You're
5
right.
o'clock flight going back to D.C. for the weekend. So it's like, I didn't even want, like, I remember my parents came, like, I started the first 2 games and they were like, you're not playing really well, like, as well as we want you to, let's just do this, right? And my parents came to the 3rd game and they were like, we're still going to play you or whatever. Did not play a single snap.
Really?
My parents were there. Terp was there.
Really?
Yada, yada, yada. I was on the verge of tears, but I was a soldier, so I didn't cry.
Okay.
And then when they were about to leave, I was like, no, y'all can't leave me here
Yeah.
by myself.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
you
need
need you.
I
Yeah.
need somebody to
Yeah.
be here. So that was just a whole, like, the best feeling was when I finished that last exit meeting and I got my stuff and I drove home.
And you left.
I left. I was like, thank God I got through this. I said,
So like, was that like that environment? Like, was the weather? Is the weather something that? Was there
winter
anything
blues,
that made you
winter
happy?
blues-
There.
The only thing, what made me happy? No, what made me happy was leaving.
Okay.
Like,
But nothing there like helped you. Like go on a
That's
walk.
the
Like
thing. I was so like. I was young, so I didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
Like, I was real
yeah.
closed off. Like I
Yeah.
didn't really want to talk to anybody. Like the
Yeah.
people I talked to, like he was like Stephon Gilmore. He was one of the vets. He took me in. He was like, just keep fighting, bro.
Yeah.
Like, just gotta keep going. So it's like, bro, like they're not playing.
Yeah.
Like just keep going, keep fighting. I'm like, all right, bet I got you. So it's just like, bro, like. But he was a great help. But at the same time, it's like I'm 20 years old.
Yeah,
Like
you're still young.
21. I'm the youngest player in the NFL at this point. So it's like, bro, like you telling me to keep fighting? He's an all-pro. He's made over $100 million in his career.
He's good.
You to say. But he's like,
good.
he's good. So it's
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah.
just like, man, like, when is it ever going to get better?
Yeah.
Like, when you in the moment, it's like, when you ever going to get better?
Yeah.
But
everyone's plan is different.
yeah, that's why I'm like,
God's
everybody's path is different.
Yeah.
Everybody's path is different. Everybody's race is different. You just got to run
Yeah.
your own race.
And so after that, how was the next season?
So, like this year, I think 2023 is my biggest year of growth, like personally, professionally.
Because I saw something they were saying that you were learning 3 different positions and you were in the film room. You were staying after.
Literally. So when I got home, my agent sat me down. He was like, "We need to figure out how to fix your mental.
Yeah.
because you are going to crash out."
Yeah.
So he sent me to this wellness retreat out in Arizona or whatever.
Okay.
It was a whole bunch of old people. It was in the mountains. Stayed there. I got myself a therapist. Shout out Dr. Hall. I had one today. She was 20 minutes late though. 20 minutes late. But, you know, all of that. And it was just like, look, like, you got to just go out there and take it day by day.
Right.
Every day, go day by day. You know, you can't think too far into the future. You got to just routine day by day. Routine builds confidence, and confidence breeds success. Like, you'll be good. So I'm like, okay. So, you know, I got my little routines going, you know, when I was down in Florida, you know, just take it day by day. Like, and I grew out my faith because it's like, bro, like, how are you sitting there and saying that you trust God, but you worrying all the time? Like, worry yourself sick. Like, I'm like, bro, like you're right. Like, just take it day at a time. Control what you control. Let God handle the rest. So every day, just day at a time, one play at a time, one lift at a time, you know, just stack the days. Like, you'll start seeing it. And, of course, like, when you're in it, it's like, oh, I don't really see it. But it's like, started coming.
You're working towards it.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, I leave OTAs and like, yeah, like, you looking good right now. Like, you know, be ready to come in and compete when you get in. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, you know, yada, yada, yada. And go to training camp and our strong safety goes down. Like, he's down. Like, I was technically slated to be the next person up, but they moved somebody over top of me. So it's like, he goes down. It's like, look, you got 2 weeks to audition for the job. Yeah. I'm out there doing my thing, bro. Coming downhill. Felt confident.
That's good.
Like, I was stronger. I was faster. I was I was feeling good because I was out there just one play at a time, one day at a time, communicating, watching extra film, running to the football, you know. And my therapist was like, look, don't think about the end goals. Just think about day-to-day goals, like, you know, running to the football, catching all the balls that are thrown your way, like, just little things like that. So it was like, that was, because at the end of the day, like, no shade, but like, I'm an elite athlete, like, you know. So it's like, I didn't need. She's like, you don't need all those lofty goals. Like, just, if you do the day-to-day things right,
small goals,
then guess what? Everything else is gonna take care of itself. So training camp going, I'm doing great. Like, no lows, no busted coverages. Get to the first preseason game, I missed the bus.
Good, Nick.
I missed the bus.
How did you do that?
So I'm doing my routine, right? And this year I was like, you know, this is a real business year. Like, I'm real professional because, you know, I worked on my personal development stuff over the off season. You know, I worked on myself. So I was like, look, so I thought that the bus left at 10:30 because usually they leave at 10:30. Like, you know, because you got to be, the game start at 1, you know, whatever. You get there 2 hours before the game. I thought the bus leaves at 10:30. So, of course, I'm upstairs doing my meditation, you know, taking my shower and all that stuff. I get downstairs. I get downstairs at like 10:15, 10:16. I walk into the lunchroom. Nobody's there. So I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like, where's everybody at? Like, you know, maybe they're downstairs. So I called a nutritionist and I'm like, hey, where's everybody at? She's like, the bus left at 10:15. I was like,
that's wild.
I was like, word?
The
I was like,
first.
So DT, our player personnel guy, I love DT. That was the most painful time. I was punching in the letters to his name to call him. He's like, little bruh. I'm like, you missed the bus. I said, yeah. He's like, it's all right. He's like, I don't need no explanation. He's like, just get down to the stadium, whatever. Get down to the stadium. And he was like, we'll talk about it when you get here. So, of course, I hop in an Uber or whatever, you know, Uber down the road.
Ubering.
And we playing the Bills. So, like, the Bills got their fans in the street. So, it's like, it's taking even longer.
So, they see you coming out in Uber.
So, it's like, bro, like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, like, this is crazy. Like, I'm really sitting there in an Uber. I'm like, why does this have to happen? I said, everything was going so smoothly. And I had to miss the bus. I said, bro. So I get to the locker room, like, I got there like 5-10 minutes after everybody else. So it wasn't really that big. Yeah. But, bro, the way everybody was looking at me in the locker room, that looked like an outcast. I swear. My favorite strength coach in there, Zane, he didn't even talk to me.
Nah.
He said, I don't want to say anything I'm going to regret, so I'm not talking to you right now.
Nick.
So I got in there, you know, everybody was like, because not a lot of people knew. But then people started figuring out, like, damn, he missed the bus. So it was like, everybody like, oh, you missed the bus. Like, yes, I missed the bus. I still went out there, I graded out in 96 and all that stuff.
Oh, that's fine.
Because our GM was like, don't worry. He was like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
My defensive coordinator was like, just a little bit of Murphy. He called Murphy, like, you know, if things are going good and something bad happens, like, just brush it off. But I'm like, everybody's saying brush it off, but it's not going to be brushed off.
Yeah, no.
So I
That's
play a
not.
good game, right? You know, I played.
That's good that you played a good game.
I played great. I get home and you still feel like there's a storm cloud over you. So I called my agent and I said, you won't believe what happened. He's like, I missed the bus. He's like, man, it's always something with you. My rookie year, the day before my birthday, I get in a car accident. Bro, we're going to Houston. I'm driving to go back home so I can go put my clothes on to get to the airport. Mm-hmm. This little kid just runs into the back of my car. Mind
terrible.
you, I have a
The day before your birthday?
The day on my birthday.
Oh, no.
The Benz. No. I had 3,000 miles on it.
No, that's crazy.
I'm driving at the stoplight. I feel boom. I'm like,
that's
there's
unlucky.
no way somebody hit me.
Was it bad?
The car couldn't drive. The policeman had to take me to my apartment.
That's wild.
He had to take me to my apartment. I almost missed the flight.
That's wild.
So it's like.
So that's on your birthday?
This is on my birthday.
Oh, dang.
So.
Just unlucky.
Bro,
unlucky.
So I'm just like, there's no way. So I missed the bus. And my DB coach, he texts me. He's like, look, they're going to fine you the max. I'm like, the max is $15K. So I'm like, ooh. He like, just take that. Like, you've never seen it.
So you get fined when you do stuff like that?
When you're late? Yes. We're grown men. We got to be able to sit there.
That's wild.
So, I'm like, man. So head coach calls me, right? What happened? I just missed the bus, coach. You know, that's on me. It's my fault. You know, whatever. You know, we're going to find you, okay? I get to my locker the next day. I see the white slip of paper. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, $15,000. Open it up. It's $6,000. I almost threw a party. And I was like, this is great. I said, thank you, Lord. I was like, he sliced it.
That's
more
good.
than in half. I said, this is great.
That's good.
I called my agent. I said, you won't believe what just happened. I said, $6,000 fine. He's like when I told Turby, like, that's a lot of money. I said, well, compared to what I was going to be,
yeah,
fine. I said,
that's
I'm good.
better.
I'm straight.
That's better.
So, still get through, training camp. The Bears come in. We have great joint practice. So, first 8 games, I don't even I barely play on defense. And I'm just like, I'm playing special teams. I'm doing great on special teams, though. I think I'm like 3rd in the league in special teams tackles, but I want to play on defense. So it's like, man, I can call my agent. He's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going on. What are you doing in the building? I said, bro, I can wear a GoPro if you want me to. Like, I'm relationships, building relationships with everybody, doing what I'm supposed to in practice. Everybody's like, bro, just keep being consistent, Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro, this is getting kind of tiring. I am doing it.
You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, yeah.
Pro Bowl ballot. I'm like, I just need to get on the Pro Bowl ballot. So I get on the Pro Bowl ballot for special teams. Did you vote for me to go to the Pro Bowl?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
It was everywhere. It was everywhere.
But yeah, got put on the Pro Bowl ballot. So I'm like, all right, bet. At least, it's a step up from last year. I'm playing good.
A big step up.
Yeah,
that
so
was
it's like,
good.
I'm on the Pro Bowl ballot.
Yeah.
I'm on NFL.com. I can go punch my name in and I'm right there. So I think we play Tampa. Mm-hmm. And my coach is like, I'm going to put you in the game this week. I'm like, huh? I'm going to put you in the game this week. I said, okay, cool. So I played 1 snap. Mm-hmm. I made a tackle, though. So it's like, okay, good. All right, bet. So he's like, my fault, I didn't get to put you in more. I'm going to put you in this next one. Who do we play? I think it was Tennessee. Mm-hmm. So Tennessee, and it's like, ooh, you're going to go in. And it's like, I haven't played defense. Mm-hmm. I haven't played defense in a regular season game since week 2 of last year.
Your rookie season.
Yeah, so it's like, this is going to be crazy. Mm-hmm. So go in there. The first drive I'm in, of course, it has to, mind you, I haven't ran a lot since, because during practice is short. I'm not getting a lot of reps. So it's like the conditioning is down. 15-play drive. Mm-hmm. First drive in there, I'm parched. I'm just like,
because you're not used to it.
And I had 3 tackles on it. So it's like, anytime you tackle somebody, that takes more. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bruh, and we were rotating 3 to 1, 2 to 1. It was like, all right, thank God we rotated.
Yeah.
Right now, I can't do this.
Yeah. So
we go in, and it's like, all right, finish the game. I hit Chig on the sideline. We exchanged some words. We in the game, we down by 1, block the punt. I'm like, And mind you, I never thought in my life I'd block a punt.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't want to break my fingers. Like, I never want, like, I'm always afraid of breaking my fingers or it hit me in the face and, like, doing something to me. Get off the ball. Swipe through. I'm like, oh, shoot the punter right there. I'm like, don't miss this. Boom, block the punt. Go and score. I'm like, bet. We end up winning the game. So I'm like, all right, good. Next game we played Cincy. It's like, okay, you're going to do the same thing. And it's like, all right, Cincy is cold. It's like, but it's like, at the end of the day, I'm like, shit, I got to go out there and still ball. You know, go out there and play well. You know, have 4 tackles and everything like that. Who was after that? Oh, it was Pittsburgh.
And that's when you got your interception.
So we get out there. I'm feeling okay. You know, I'm not feeling aggressive. Like, my legs kind of feel weird, but go out there first time. Najee Harris makes a cut. Mind you, I'd already planned to go hit him. He makes a cut real quick, miss a tackle. I'm like, man. So, like a couple plays later, quarterback roll out. George right next to me. So I'm like, okay, he run a little corner route. They run a sprint out. He turns back to the post. I'm like, oh, the quarterback's going to throw this. I'm like, he threw the ball. And it was kind of, the way he threw it was kind of like, it didn't have a lot of loft on it.
So you knew.
So
like,
I was kind of just like, I don't know. I don't want to mistime my jump. So and George knows this. I push George in his back. I push him real quick. Just a quick push. I go up. And of course, everybody wants to come down with the ball. I was like, at the worst, it's going to be incomplete because I was not getting bagged. I was not going to get bagged. Like, I'm not going to get end up on Sports Center. Take the ball off. Take the ball off his head. I have the ball in my hand. And I'm like, my first intercept, like, this is crazy. Like, everything for me is, this is crazy. Like, this is insane. Running with the ball, like, I don't even hear the crowd. I just hear my foot's like, doom, 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 doom. So, of course, when I always told everybody when I got my first pick, I was going to sit there and do this whole celebration. I'm going to take my helmet off. I ran to the camera. I said, like, stop playing, bro. Like, stop playing. I was too tired to do anything else. Go to the sideline or whatever, like, you know, finish the game, played well. And it's like, man, I caught my first pick. Like, because it's like, it's so, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, it must be so hard to catch your first interception. Like, how do you even, like, so it's like, but I get it. I'm like, man, like, this is crazy. So, boom, we win that game, you know, yada, yada, yada. We go into Atlanta. And of course, we still rotating or whatever. Our starting strong safety position I played my rookie year, he gets hurt. So, of course, I back up everything. Free, strong, nickel. So.
And those were the positions you were studying?
Yeah. I get to the sideline. I'm like, wait, that means I have to go play this.
It's your
I haven't
turn.
gotten reps at this since preseason.
Yeah.
Like, Nick, you know what you're doing? You know you got to go in. I said, yeah. I said, I'm not going to lie, coach. I might give a little bit of stuff up, but it's okay. We're going to be okay. First play, we go in there. They run a strike route out the backfield. So it's like a vertical out the backfield. I'm supposed to go take it. But I got to look with my eyes back to make sure that they don't throw the ball down. So I missed the strike route. I realized I missed a strike route. I turn, I'm like, oh, shoot. Start chasing it. And then I hear the crowd, and I'm like, there's a screen behind me. I said they threw the ball. I turn around, and there's a convoy, and a lineman and a running back. And I said, oh, dear. So, of course, I can feel everybody looking at me at the sideline like,
what did he just,
what did he just do? I said, okay, let me just get myself together real quick. I remember I blitzed. Dude came back on the slice back, hit me, stumbling. I was just all over the place. Like, calm down. I said, okay, I got you. I said, relax. I said, let me settle in. Finally settled in, had about 6. They were one of my favorite plays of the year. It was they ran a toss to Bijan. And they always say, don't go underneath the block. You got to go over the top of it. So I go under the block because I'm like, I didn't feel it. I was like, oh, I'm going to just go under the block and go make this play. He turned and comes my way. I'm like, oh, shoot. I said, they got blockers outside of me. They're going to score. I said, this is on me again. I was like, oh, got to go get me. Go grab him, tackle him. I said, that was an elite play. I said, that was elite.
So you came back. You did.
Yeah, I did my thing. Now, we get out of halftime. My D coordinator says, they're not snapping it on first sound. You can walk in, walk out. So, of course, I take his advice. First play, I get down there. I'm walking in. they run crack toss, which is they just lineman cones, blocks. I try to cut underneath it, miss it. They score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Nick, you got to get down. I'm like, man. So we lose to Atlanta. And honestly,
so did you like to do they? So after the game, are they all like looking at you like what?
They're not looking at me crazy,
okay.
but because I mean, they didn't look at me crazy,
Yeah.
but I was looking at myself crazy.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just like I had 3 or 4 plays, but the 3 or 4 plays was not. You know, it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we get into the neck. We go to the Raiders, right? And our safety Julian goes on injured reserve. So I'm like, I gotta go play strong. So I gotta remember how to play strong. Coach brings us in and is like, Nick, you're gonna start at free this week.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie Harrison, he's like, you gonna start at strong.
Mm-hmm.
So completely new, and Kenny was hurt. So our nickel was this dude named Chris Lamont.
Mm-hmm.
We got a whole new secondary.
Yeah.
Of course, coaches are so uptight. Like everything's right. Like that Friday, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I went from a rotational guy to like now I got to control the back end.
Right.
2 rookie corners. We have, Kenny was supposed to play. He ended up getting hurt a little bit. So I'm like, man, like
you're like the leader.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
I go from I'm now the leader.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I remember that Friday practice was so trash. They were scoring on us left and right.
Mm-hmm.
They were scoring on us left and right. And it was just like, bruh, like, coach was like, nah, we gonna start this over. We had to walk through all the plays again. We had to go watch the film. So we go out there against Vegas, and we balling. Like, we really balling. Win the game, had 9 tackles. Like, we really went out there and did our thing. It's winner go home, and we go out there and we play Houston Saturday night. I was like, man, I want to play Sunday, but I was like, whatever. Go out there excited, whatever. First play, we're in cover 4. And this is on me. My guy runs underneath. I'm sitting there expecting them to run a dig, like an end breaker. So I'm sitting there just waiting. Quarterback looking down the field, and I'm like, oh, he probably ran a post. Throw the ball. Fume. I'm looking. I'm like, oh, man. Touchdown. Like, that whole game, I was like, man. So we lose that game. But at the end of the day, like, I still finished. I think I finished about 40 tackles, 2 pass breakups, interception, block punt, tackle for loss. So it was overall, it was a good, we didn't end it the way we wanted to, but at the end of the day, it was a lot of growth. And, all my teammates from the jump was like, look, like, you grew up a lot this year, to see me from where you were last year, like, you're going to be a special player, all that stuff. So it was just like, man, like, it's a lot to build on for the future.
But it's definitely like from going from your rookie season to this past season, like it was in due time. Like you just,
sure.
Step by step, you did what you had to do, put in the hours, and then.
Yeah, my agent was just like, look, you're right where you need to be.
Yeah.
Like, right where you want to be right now.
It's only up. And so what's next? Like, what's your next goals?
I mean, right now it's just, I got back in with my therapist, just sit down and talk about, what the goals are, obviously take care of the body right now, but then go train, just take it day by day, take it day by day, focus on the little things, try to become more of a leader out there on the field. And then just go from there. That's really it. Don't try to do too much. Yeah. Just continue to do and just continue to, build on what I've done and, see where God takes me this year.
It's only up. And it's just like looking at your whole journey, like from when your dad's telling you no, Florida State, like everything happens for a reason. Like everything
happens for a reason.
We don't understand why.
You don't understand why.
Never.
But everything happens for a reason. Yeah. People are put in your life for a reason. Yeah. And, at the end of the day, it's just one of them things where you got to choose to see it for what it is or you don't. And it's just one of them things where it's like, at the end of the day, you never want an opportunity to pass you by because you're too stuck in your, your patterns and your ways. And it's just one of them things where if like you really trust God, it's just like, everything happens for the good. It might hurt for a little bit, whatever. But, at the end of the day, it's all good. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Oh, yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you for coming and being on the podcast with us. We appreciate you, Nick, and hope you had a good time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, Appreciate y'all for having me on here.
Of course.
And
yeah. So that's it. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you, Nick. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.